Man, let's move on to the Pistons, man.
Yes, sir.
Because they continue to roll.
Yes, indeed.
They got to win. What was that, Monday? Monday against the Celtics to move to 21 wins. Yeah, that was Monday against the Celtics. It was a pretty hard fought victory against the Celtics. Cade had a big fourth quarter. I think he hit 5 threes in that game too, which is kind of un-Cade like. You know, he's more of a mid-range monster, but he can step out and do it all. 21-5, man. It's being overshadowed a little bit by what OKC is doing, but to me, they the best team in the East. It's them and the Knicks, but I think that at full strength, we the best team in the East. Ivy is starting to look a little bit more like himself. And Duran didn't even do much in the game against Boston, and I thought we maintained control of it for the entire time. And that's the sign of a good team. Like, you don't even have to have all your guns firing, and you can still win. But this discussion popped up, man, on one of the social sites. Is Cade a top 5 player right at this moment, in your opinion?
Position doesn't matter.
Yeah, regardless of position.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I was trying to think of 5. I was trying to think of how long did it take me to get to 4 players that was better than him. And it was taking me too long once I got to like 3.
Yeah, I'm so you got Luka, SGA, Jokic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it's Cade, Cade, Wemby, Cade. Wemby just came back off injury.
Like Cade is like, I got Cade that group with like Wemby, Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Like right in.
To me, I think he
right
playing better than Ant-Man right at this moment. You know what I'm saying? So I would have him.
I mean, Minnesota's not winning as much.
Right.
But Ant-Man, I mean, he hurt right now. But before he got hurt, I mean, he was going dumb.
Yeah, Ant-Man was balling.
I'm not
hating on Ant-Man, but what's Cade, 29-9 right now?
Yeah, somewhere close like that.
27-9, yeah.
Somewhere close like that.
But
right now.
I'm just right at this moment. I'm just like, at this moment, I'm like, he top 5, but
I think he's definitely, if we're going
right now, he's 27-9.
27-9. Yeah, that's why I'm like 27-9. I'm like, to me, right this moment, he one of the 5 best players in the association.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, and and certainly an MVP candidate.
That's what I was going to say. I said, now see, the top 5 conversation sometimes can be, fluid, super fluid, but I definitely think he is number 2 in MVP rankings.
Yeah.
I think it's SGA and him.
Yeah. I mean, 21-5, he got his team humming like that. Yeah, I agree. I'm like, 20. Nobody expected the Pistons to be 21-5, and he's the reason.
I certainly didn't.
Yeah, nobody picked that. Nobody picked that. And he's certainly the reason why. He deserves his flowers. He deserves his kudos. I just want to.
And to your point with Cade, the players that are thriving because of him.
Absolutely.
Whereas
he's the engine.
A lot of the other, some of the other MVP candidates, have co-stars that are a little more accomplished.
Of course.
They
got all-stars around them.
They're just, they've got a little more accolades. So, I don't want to downgrade or,
no, but
condescend on our guys.
I agree, but they're ascending
for sure
just now.
Right.
Where those other guys have guys that are more established.
For sure.
So yeah, absolutely. That's a part of the reason why I'm like, he's an MVP candidate right now because he's doing the most with less.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Of anybody. And again, and like you said, I like where our guys are going. A lot of our guys are developing, but we don't I don't think we have anybody other than him in their prime yet.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So like, it's
and even Cade, he's still like kind of approaching his prime.
Right. Really.
Was he 25? Did he just turn 25?
Yeah, I think he's 24 going on 25.
Is he still 24?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
He might, if he's 25, he just turned 25.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But let me check it. But if he's 25, he just turned 25.
He's 24.
Yeah, he's 24. That's what I said.
He
yeah.
just turned 24.
Oh, wow. So, man, he got like 2 solid years for
Yeah,
even approach his physical prime.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So,
yeah, man.
Nah, man. Cade is that man. And that's all it is to it. And I love the fact that the whole core is young like that, man. And we got so many years to develop and get there. And JB is doing a great job.
One question for you.
Yeah.
And I'll throw this at nephew too. How many players do we get on any of the 3 all-defensive teams this season?
Oh, wow. Well, I think Asar should be on an all-defensive team, and I think Beef Stew should too. Aside from that, man, it's hard for me. I would have to look into the numbers and look at defensive win share and steals and all of that. But we should at least get those 2. I like, Duren he's developed, like he's starting to block a lot more shots and be a better rim protector, but I don't know that he's all defensive level yet. To me, Beef Stew is all defensive level.
I think Beef Stew is a lock for an all-defensive team.
Yeah, he gotta be, man. Like
he's consistently shown, and I think he still is second in the NBA in blocks, but he's shown it's not a per minute thing.
Yeah, no.
You put him out on the floor, he's affecting the game defensively by altering or blocking shots.
I agree.
And then offensively, he doesn't hurt you.
No, man. Beef Stew can score.
But yeah, I think he's a lock. I don't know which one he falls on, but I think he's a lot. I think Asar is a lot, and I think one to consider out of left field, maybe to some folks. I think you consider Cade.
Yeah, listen, Cade is an excellent two-way player
at a defensive guard spot on the all-defensive team, and if we continue to trend and pile up these wins,
the interesting thing about that, because I think about Cade, but the only thing is that when you're a great offensive player now, they do a weird thing if you're a great offensive player now. Unless you like Wemby and you just, like ridiculously great at defense, you know what I'm saying? And you just can't be ignored, or Giannis, like one of these real long guys. But they do a interesting thing with the guards. Because last year, SGA had the second best defensive rating in the NBA.
Well, that's true.
Behind his teammate, Jalen Williams.
Mm-hmm.
So... But he wasn't, because I was surprised he wasn't considered for an all-defensive team.
Yeah.
But they do something weird they overlook you if you're really great at offense. They he's real great at offense, and he's a byproduct of a great defensive team, which the Pistons are. That's why I didn't mention him. But I agree. I think Cade is a very underrated individual defender. He's really good. I'm with you on that.
There's a lot of goofies that vote on this stuff.
It is. I think they do something with you got to be Dyson Daniels or something. You got to be like a 12-point a game scorer for them to consider you a great defender. Right. And I don't understand that.
It's like almost they penalize them for being a two-way player.
I agree.
On a high-level two-way player.
Right.
But if you're kind of like a middle tier where you do a lot of everything well, but you may be a higher level defensive player, they kind of, to your point, just kind of reward them more.
I agree.
That is weird.
Something weird happens there, man.